then why we choose only speaking? Because according to Sersen Murcia and Austin 2000, identifies speaking as potentially the most difficult language skill to be mastered. And then that's why we choose speaking through, we would like to investigate how effective fluidity to increase and enhance the speaking skill through the student, elementary student in SD. Then I give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you Rasuna for the explanation. Now we move to the second speaker that will explain about the research question by Hizkia Silakan. Okay, for Hizkia, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator. This time I will explain about the research question. We have proposal to question. The first is how does the unified content activity facilitate the development of the speaking skill among children? The second, why does unified content activity have the potential to stimulate this speaking skill among children? I think that's all for me.
Okay, thank you Hizkia for the explanation. Now we move to the third speaker that is Dina Puspitasari will explain about the research object listening.
Okay, thank you. After we know the background of the problem and the research question, the next part is we have to know our research objective. The first is our objective is to investigate the effectiveness of gamified content on enhancing English speaking skills among children, especially in elementary school and kindergarten. And the second is our second objective is to explore the potential of studying through speaking stimulating English communication, English speaking skills among children in kindergarten. For the next part,
Okay, thank you Dina for the explanation. Now we move to the fourth speaker that is Devanya Manula will explain about the previous study. Okay, Devanya, please.
Okay. I'm going to study. We will study study platform activity dengan menggunakan mengajar dan teknologi by the authors So here there are two that will be used about observation and function, and overview and function, and then in the location is in the swasta dan sustain unit. Then there will be observation and also doing workshop in the SD. In here we can reference to use in our research. Next is about the research review we use here is from Sersen Murcia and Austin in 2000. The expert identified speaking as potentially the most difficult skill to learn. In here, the expert explained some of such skills. There are quick level of vocabulary, appropriate selection of semantical structure, and the ability to navigate socio-cultural relations within communication context. So that's it from my part. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Devanya for the explanation. Now we move to the next presenter that is Putri Salsabila will explain about what the flippity is. Okay,
So what the flippity is a web-based application that can convert content from pre-designed Google Sheets template into educational activities or games that can be accessed through a web page. This Gem5 flippity was created by Steve Fortna, a technology integration specialist and English teacher from France. Not only does it present an engaging game-like format, but it is also user-friendly. Teachers can utilize this platform to captivate student attention and prevent boredom during learning. This flippity can be accessed through its official website. It's www.flippity.net. I think that's all. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Okay, now we move to the next presenter. Ayu Sipolis. Time is yours. Julina as we know that English is unfamiliar and unpopular language for us right now, because not only it's just an international language that we should learn, but also if we learn English and if we master of it, it can add on value to us if we want to apply job or etc. But right now, some people thought that teaching English to the human are good by teaching them on the young age. But unfortunately, there are some young age are still who are still hard to accept the result of to accept the knowledge of the English itself. Why? Because maybe some of the people touch them because of the IQ of the kids of the people. So our research today can solve the problem. Okay, next go to the research methodology. The location we choose is SD Man 1 Al-Iman SD Tanjung Balai, and the time is the last May until early June, and about 1 week. And then the research method is because this study is about social issue that concerns interaction among individuals, particularly among students aged 8 until 12 years old who are learning to speak English. Therefore, the research method employed is qualitative. And because according to the Molloy in 1998, in the page 3, said that qualitative research is a method or procedure that generates descriptive data in the form of written or spoken words from individuals and observable behaviors. And then the research object is students in classes 3 and 4 as they or those who age 8 until 12 years old. Why we choose this student? Because we believe that these students or this age is able to accept the knowledge that we will give to them, because in the class of 3 until 4, it's time for them to grow up and they can prepare themselves to go to other classes like junior high school. So I think it's the correct time for us to teach them in class 3 and class 4. And then the data analysis, the results are presented in words that explain the findings. Therefore, the analysis of the research result employs is a descriptive analytic method. Because the analysis of the research result employs an informal method, the results are presented in words that explain the stimulation of English speaking activities among children to limit. Okay, I think that's all. Back to you. Okay, thank you, Lina. Now we move to the last presenter that will explain about the data collection. Okay, audience Lina,
So in doing data collection, we actually do two techniques. The first one is recording technique. So we are, as a researchers, will conduct recordings of conversation and interviews with the relevant teacher and study. So what it means by recording technique is we record the class, the learning process in the class, and then we do learning process as the usual without using any modern technology, just the board. And then after explaining about the learning material, we will conversation with the students, such as asking how the material you understand about this, like that. And then after we do the conversation, we will do interviews with relevant student and teacher. And then the second technique is observation technique. So this technique was used to watch and evaluate the study objects, English comprehension through games, and will subsequently be used to observe the children. So after we got the result from the first technique, which is recording techniques, and then we will make the PPT based on that result.
and then we will do a learning process with the PPT, and then during that time we observe to find the final result of the PPT, of using PPT, and what is the effect to the student and the teacher. So that is all from me, to the moderator.
Okay, thank you for all the presenters. Maybe now we move to the suggestions or comment section. So for our friends, there is any suggestions and or comments that you want to convey to our groups here, or about the PPT, about the content of the PPT, or about the content of the proposal, I mean. Okay, Rani Amelia, can you please?
Okay, my name is Rani Amelia. Can you slide the research paper to the slide? Okay, in the data source, you choose the students that age 8 up to 12 years old. Is there any supported theory that support your reason why you choose this part? Like you said before, your reason is that you guys believe that this age is ready to get the knowledge about the English, right? But you cannot say like you believe like that. You have to some reference or theory to strengthen your reason. So is there any theory or reference to support your reason?
And that's all. And thank you, Rani Amelia. So, just want to answer. Is there any from other? Okay, Sinta Melina, please.
Okay, I would like to ask, how does the research proposal suggest using the PPT platform to improve English speaking fluency among primary school students, and what is the main objective of the study in evaluating the effectiveness of PPT in changing student English speaking fluency?
Okay, thank you.
I want to give a little comment about your background. I think you don't mention the reason why you do the research. I mean, you don't tell us the issue that why is it important to do this research. I think you must put it in the background of the study. Even Juliana have mentioned it a little bit in the methodology when she want to start his explanation, and then about the theory. I think that the theory that you use and you deliver just now still unable to answer the research questions about the information that you want to get, and I think about the data analysis. Can you move to the slide? I think in your research questions, you wanna know is it effective or non-effective. So can you give me more explanation and justify why you use the descriptive analytic method when you also want to get the effectiveness of this PPT? That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Arnel. Thanks for the question and suggestion from you. We will wait until this group answer all of your questions.
Okay, for my question, you are asking about the main objective and why we use PPT in here. So according to us, why we use this PPT? Because the use of the PPT platform in here, in order to create a gamified content that can engage the student in SMA SD MAN 1 Aliman in enhancing their influence in enhancing or learning their fluency in English material, especially in speaking. And also the main objective just asked. The main objective is to stimulate the students and their speaking skill among the children in SD Mansatu Aliman. So English my answer. Thank you.
Okay, Sinta, are you satisfied about the answer? Thank you, Sinta, and thank you. Let this group answer the Rani's questions. So Julinar will complete answers. Please, Julinar. Thank you a lot for the yeah, thank you, Rani, for your question. Ask the justification and the theory that why we choose the students in the class 3 and 4 and age 8 until 12. Well, the first of all, I would like to say that the reason of researcher has defined or decide those age because the age of 8 until 12 years old, children already are able to learn a lot of things that just not from their environment, but also the not just from their play environment. Maksudnya bukan hanya dari lingkungan belajar, tetapi juga bukan dari lingkungan bermainnya, tapi juga dari lingkungan belajarnya. Jadi umur segitu itu udah bisa menyerap dari lingkungan bermainnya maupun lingkungan belajarnya. Whereas those age children are able to menafsirkan or describe and understanding paling tidak itu tuh at least words or sentence in the English language that they can accept from the language. The theory said that there are some theory. The first theory is the cognitivism theory from Jean Piaget in 1945. Said that language is one of the ability that come from kematangan mereka dalam berpikir secara kognitif. Jadi urutan itu tergantung dengan perkembangan bahasanya. Itu yang pertama. Terus yang kedua, the last is from Tarigan in 1988. They said that there are three process of the language. The first is learning of language is from human because of the learning language jadi dalam interaksi sosial antara individu guru siswa di dalamnya berlaku sosial. So once again we justified and we say that the age of 8 until 12 years old and the class 3 or until 4 are able to accept the knowledge from language.
Actually, I just want to know that is there any specific theory that support your reason why you choose this 8 until 12 years old? Like why you choose them? Is there any supporting reason?
We cannot find a specific theory right now, but we just found the theory about a student who can learn and accept the learning from technology.
Okay, thank you, Rani and Julina, for the question and answer. Now we move to the last question from Amel that will answer by Rosena. Okay, answer by Rosena. So, Rosena, timing.
Answer the Amel's question. The first Amel's question is about why about the justification why we choose speaking in our research proposal, because as we know, as the observation of one of our members, that Ayu, that already observed that to the location immediately, we conclude that the learning process in that location is still flat. That means that the teachers still not able to approach the English learning, especially for the speaking to their students. And then the learning process about the method English learning process is still flat, which is hanya di situ-situ aja, masih berkurang. So that's why we choose FreePT as our media, learning media, which is by them that we will imply to the students, which is maybe that might to increase their speaking ability. As we know that speaking, as what I said before, that according to Celsa Murcia and Austin 2000, it identifies that speaking as potentially the most difficult language skill that need to be mastered. So that's why we choose FreePT and we connect it to the FreePT. I think that's all.
And then I want to add why we choose descriptive analytic approach to this proposal, because we do the observation and then after we got the result from the observation, we will analyze the analytic of the result to decide is it effective or not to the student. And then, so that is all for us.
Okay, thank you, Aulia dan Rosina, for the answer about Aulia's question. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Thank you for the answer. But about the background of study, I just ask you to add the current issue that make you feel is it important to talk about this research, to do this research. I mean, just add it. I don't ask why, because Junior have mentioned it before. And the next is you don't tell me before about the theory that I said before. I'm able to answer the research question. What do you think, guys, about that theory? I just want to know.
Okay, thank you for the feedback, Amal. So I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all about this third presentation. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.
Itulah nampak.